we forget what it feels like to be lost. And the Apostle Paul warns against this in Ephesians chapter 2, verse 12. He says, remember that you were at one time separated, living apart from God, excluded from all part of him. You did not know him. You did not know his grace. You didn't know his love. You didn't know his kindness. You had no hope, no promise. You were in the world without God. And we have to remember that without God, people are hopeless. Separated from Christ, they're walking in darkness. So Paul is saying here, don't forget. Like in your mind, go back and remember that sense of emptiness and void that you had when you were searching for meaning and purpose, and you were desperate and you were filling it up with all the things of the world, trying to satisfy, but nothing satisfied. Remember what that feels like, because that's what your friends and your neighbors and your coworkers are all dealing with right now. And how will they know unless we tell them, unless we keep moving up and we keep moving out?
To keep talking live. It's great to have you here with us. And I'm here with my friend, Ashley Andrews.
What's up, guys?
Okay, thank you for being here today.
Yeah, long time no see.
We're trying some things out, all right? Even doing these on Tuesdays at noon is a little bit of an experiment, right?
Yeah.
Trying it with just one other host is a little bit of experience. You better bring your A game.
I know. We're like a morning talk show.
Because if not, what are we going to talk about?
It's just the two of us holding it down.
That's right. So we're going to talk about the Sunday message and dive into that. So we're really excited to be able to have this conversation with you. Excited that some of you are watching live with us. So you drop in the chat, if you haven't already, where you're watching from, how long you've been around Christ Fellowship. It's always great to hear a little bit of people's stories. And then some people are going to be watching this after the fact, maybe in preparation for their Keep Talking group and using the material that you write each week to add to those talking points. And we hope this will be a benefit and a blessing to you as we go through this and have this conversation.
Yeah,
so,
thanks for spending your lunch break with us.
That's it. All right.
I'm honored.
Hey, well, let's jump into it. You know, Pastor Todd shared a pretty funny story about dating his now wife and an expensive shopping trip that he took her on.
Right? Was rolling.
All right. And so it kind of made us think a little bit about what does that look like when we're in love?
Yeah.
Right? We do crazy things when we're in love.
Crazy things.
And sometimes we go above and beyond. We go extreme.
Yeah.
What are some of the things that maybe you have done or not done? She said that she's not very romantic and thoughtful. So
I'm not.
I find that hard to believe.
And if you missed Sunday, Pastor Todd talked about with his first paycheck, he took Pastor Julie at the time. She was maybe newlyweds, maybe? Were they newlyweds or were they dating? I don't remember that part of the...
We have a clip. We'll show it in a second.
Okay.
Before we get there.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, well then I won't say too much.
Show me some over-the-top love story.
Over the top.
Ashley Andrews, do you have anything?
I think... No, I'm not... I love words. I'm a writer.
Okay.
So in my mind, when I say, I love you.
Yeah.
That feels...
Yeah.
Those words are heavy. I feel like that's a pretty big gesture for me to say those words.
Do you write? Are you kind of like a letter writer?
I am a card writer through and through. I write my kids' cards. I write my husband cards, my mom. I am definitely I like to give words of affirmation because I think... But I've never even now with kids asking each other to prom. Have you seen this? Like high school students?
There's elaborate things.
Wow. Yeah. They are so over the top. Yeah. Like my engagement story isn't as elaborate as these kids. Will you go to the prom with me?
Yeah.
I don't have anything.
It
really
builds up
like
a lot
that.
of expectation.
It does.
And I was doing a premarital counseling. I hadn't planned on talking about this. Doing a premarital counseling session yesterday with a couple, and we were just talking about wedding preparations, and we were going over kind of like couples personality assessment and stuff like that. Just trying to give them some thoughts, give them some talking points before they get married. And so they were talking about all the things planning for the wedding, and I was like, "Look, I was at a wedding this weekend." All right. I went to Erica's wedding. Some of you guys know Erica, who's one of our hosts. It was a beautiful wedding. It was so thoughtful, but there were so many like little thoughtful pieces. And I don't think I've been to a wedding in quite a while because I was like, this is different this is a whole production. It's a whole thing. And it was like, I can see the expectation that comes with that. It's like, well, I saw this at this wedding, so now I got to level up my game over here. And I was like, look, guys, you're going to get married. You're going to say yes. Like, it doesn't have to be all of this. Elaborate. But Erica, great wedding. Great. Phenomenal. Wedding. Very thoughtful.
We kind of dodged a bullet. We got married so long ago. Yeah. We were on the front end. I
was 22.
Yeah.
I knew nothing of what was going on. Yeah. My parents did everything. Yeah. And I was like, all right, cool.
Yeah. It was before. Yeah.
So thanks, Mom and Dad.
Before the time. You know what I was thinking? Little acts of service. This isn't. Hello.
I know. I should put my phone on Do Not Disturb,
Now you've got me thinking, oh no, is mine off? You know when somebody's phone rings in church, does anybody have that secondhand anxiety? And then I'm like, is mine on silent? I was thinking, this isn't over the top, but I think I'm going to make an argument. Consistent acts of love are worth more. And I was thinking about how my kids have really long days right now because of school and sports. Mm-hmm. And so some nights I'm home before them because my husband will bring them home. Yeah. And when they come home, I have everything done for them. I was thinking the other night, I'm like, I don't ever need to take these kids on a vacation because they come home to a hotel. Oh. I mean, like, they're like, pillows are fluffed. I have their light on in their bedroom, like their lamp.
Seriously?
I have a snack. Sometimes I'll have like warm cookies out for them.
Yeah.
Like, so they come home to like a yummy snack. And like, I think that is love. That's love. All those little things I'm doing for them at 9:15 at night to make it a welcoming, loving environment that they walk into.
I do all the things. I'm not sure I do it with the right heart and motivation.
I do.
I'm like, here's all the clean laundry. Dig through that and get your stuff. Go brush your teeth. Get out of here.
I do love them. And so I'm like, I just want them to feel so at home whenever they walk through the door.
That's incredibly thoughtful. All right.
It is thoughtful. It's not over the top. But...
Good. All right. Drop in the chat. When's a time that you have maybe shown love over the top? Or let's just say, like, what is your like faithful, loving aspect of what you do there? And then while you do that, let's see Pastor Todd and his over-the-top shopping experience for Pastor Julie.
Do you remember when you first fell in love? Oh, yeah, go back. Some of us got to go way back. Go back there. Come on. Do you feel it? Are you there? Do you remember? Remember how old? Remember the age? The feeling, the butterflies? Woo! Well, I remember when I first realized I really loved Julie, okay? You know our story. We met in 7th grade, puppy love. I thought it was real, but we on and off again. And then we were off for an extended period of time when we went to college. But then I came home on a Christmas break, and that's when I realized I love this girl. I cannot live the rest of my life without this girl. So I went out without telling her, and I bought a diamond ring that was more like a diamond chip. You had to really look to see if there was something there. And asked her to marry me. She finally said yes. And then I had to go back to school, finish up school, came back home, started working at the church, and I got my first paycheck. I was the youth pastor, the worship pastor, dad's secretary, the janitor, whatever it needed to be. And I was paid like about $150 or whatever. So I took her out. I'm like, I'm gonna blow my first paycheck on her. So I took her out to Marshall's. Woo, baby. And she didn't know. We walked into Marshall's and I'm like, babe, anything you want in the store, it's yours. And then I had to check up to about $120. So I don't remember that day what she bought. She could probably tell you what she bought that day. But I remember how I felt. I was so in love, and I wanted to demonstrate it to her. I wanted her to feel it and to know it, and I wanted to do something tangible to express it. See, here's what I know. When you love somebody, it doesn't feel like sacrifice. When you love someone, it doesn't even feel like you're sacrificing.
That's a good one.
So good. You know, anything you want.
Anything up to $120. That's all we can do.
I love it. Marshall's, big spenders.
I know.
Honestly, though, I love Marshall's.
Yeah, it works.
TJ Maxx, put it in the chat.
It works for things.
Hey, we just looked in the chat.
Yeah.
Mike said...
Happy 2-year anniversary at Christ Fellowship Church, Mike. How about that?
I know. I love that. It's your anniversary.
Really cool. I remember the first time I saw him. He had been in the chat, and then he was here in Palm Beach Gardens. We were doing baptisms outside on the patio, and I think it was when we did, I was doing a baptism we have a couple that watches from Spain each week. And so I was doing his baptism, and Big Mike walks in and introduces himself, and I was like, that's Mike. Like,
Let's go.
Yeah, I know who you are. So yeah, it's
Happy
really cool to see him around here from time to time. It's always fun. Why do you think love changes how we feel about giving or serving someone?
I think when you love somebody, it feels like a privilege and not an obligation.
Yeah.
You know, like I think when you're grateful for somebody, I don't even think just love. I think there's gratitude there too.
Yeah.
Like I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. My husband is the hardest working person I know. Like I'm so grateful to help him in big and small ways.
Yeah.
Sometimes I do complain about things, but but even with my kids, like I'm just so grateful God trusted them to me.
And there's certain people in my life that if they ask for something, I'm like, you get whatever I can do for you, we're gonna do it.
Yes.
And we even see that in like a work context.
Yep.
You have helped me out on times
I love helping
you're
you.
Like,
you're my
absolutely,
bud.
yeah, we'll do it. And so even though a lot of times I don't ask, I feel bad asking people. I feel like I'm gonna put someone out. But then there's that aspect of people genuinely want to help.
Yes.
And it's like, hey, I whatever it takes to make you successful, I want to be able to do that. I want to jump in and help out like that. So, yeah, there's definitely that aspect. Have you ever had a time when giving something you felt like made you happier than actually keeping a hold of it? Like
lots of times.
You know, a gift, giving a financial gift, giving time or sacrifice.
Yep.
That you're like, I am so glad that I did that. Rather than
for sure. I mean, I think obviously like a very easy low hanging fruit. I love giving gifts on Christmas. I know that's like such a simple, kind of expected. We give gifts on Christmas, but I love putting a lot of thought into the people I love and what gift. I think I love watching their face when they unwrap it. I love that. But I think was it last year that we got hit with all the tornadoes? That was last year down here in South Florida, right around this time. And we had a hurricane that we got some spin-off tornadoes and just wreaked havoc on our community. It was not far from where we live at all. And our family went out one day and helped clean up some people's property. It was like an all-day thing. I mean, their property just unfortunately was destroyed. And we went out there, and I mean, it was like manual labor. But it was such a gift. Like I went to bed that night and was just so grateful that
of all the things I could have done with my time today.
That I did that and that my kids did that and we had fun.
Yeah.
You know, we weren't out there like, this is the worst. Like we were out there smiling.
Your daughter is on one of the pictures in the hallway doing that. I walk by it all the time and I think about Andy.
Yes, so. I love it. I love it.
I can think of a time recently where there was a student that I know that, care about her and just try to invest in her and her family. And she was going on a missions trip and gave some money, and it was like it wasn't that I didn't think about it, but it was like, of course I'll support you. And watching her reaction to that, and watching her family's reaction to that, of like some of the thoughtful cards that she wrote, talking about the experience afterwards, was just like, wow, that I didn't think that my gift would really make that big of a difference. And she was like, we were all in tears, and like, thank you so much for investing in me and supporting me. And it's like, of course, of course.
Yes.
It's like, I do that in my personal life. I care about you. I want the best for you. And so, there's sometimes I don't put my money where my mouth is as well and help out in that way.
It's kind of like, I don't know if contagious is the right word too, but like, the more you do it, the more you want to do it.
Yeah.
Where you almost like, I want that feeling again. I want to do that again. Like, so the next time a kid's going on a mission trip, it's like, let's give to that.
I think about Proverbs 11:25. You know that, right?
The world of the generous gets
yes,
bigger.
Yeah, there you go. A generous person will prosper.
Okay.
A generous person will prosper.
Yes.
That seems backwards. That seems strange, right?
Giving it away?
Giving it away, you will prosper. Whoever refreshes others will be refreshed. And this is not in a, televangelist
right,
way
transactional.
Of like, if you give, then you'll get, but there is something that when we serve, when we care about others, when we invest in other people, there's something that happens inside of us, and we want to do these things. We're motivated to do them, and it changes us on the inside.
Yes, for the better.
How about that?
For the better.
Yeah, maybe God knows what he was talking about.
Yes.
When
and you ever think it's, I don't know where we're going, but I'm just thinking.
Along for the ride.
We're along for the ride here. Welcome to Keep Talking. When you see like people who are older and like, some old people are just really grouchy and like, they're not pleasant to be around. But then you see some old people that always have like candy for the kids and like they're so jolly and they're so sweet. And I think you just become a more exaggerated version of who you already are. And so it's like, I want to be the old person that is like, everybody loves her because she's just kind and generous and jolly and jovial. But like that starts with how I'm acting now and how I behave now. And so I'm like,
you're
I want
almost
to be
training yourself now for
like I'm going to be a fun old person.
When you're not thinking about it, when you're old, you're going to fall into that that mindset.
Right. Because I think if you're stingy, you're just going to get stingier and stingier and stingier until eventually you're an old person that like nobody wants to hang around.
When I was little, I had a uncle. He's probably like a great uncle that he would always carry like silver dollars or the big half dollar coins or whatever.
Yes.
And so every time you'd see him, he'd like reach in and he'd pull it out and stick it in your hand.
I love it.
It was just like that's the coolest.
It's
and
so
so then
fun.
I have another uncle that has started doing that.
Carrying on the tradition.
It's like,
my grandmother was $2 bills.
$2 bills. Yeah. Hard to find. So
$2
take some thought.
Yeah. Sweet.
That's awesome.
Sweet. I know. Tell us in the chat.
Yeah. Tell us in the chat, when's maybe a time that you gave something that brought you real joy?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Share that because this is not you bragging.
Right.
This is not you trying to tout yourself. It might inspire someone else to go, oh, I could do that.
Yep.
Oh, hey, that was meaningful to someone in their life. And, it actually changed me from the inside. That's pretty cool. Let's encourage one another in our good deeds.
Yes.
All right. So, all right. Now we have another clip that we want to show you from the message this Sunday that really goes to our mindset and how we think about God and how important that is. Check this out.
Theology is what you think about when you think about God. It's our human effort to understand the God of the Bible, and your theology actually shapes how you live your life. If you think God is a distant God that doesn't really care about you, that's going to shape your life. But if you see God as a part of every part of your life, if you see him as a very present help in time of trouble, if you see that he is the author of life, that actually knows how we can get the most out of life, well, then that shapes your life in the best way possible. What comes into our minds when we think about God is the most important thing about us. And my fear is that too many people, too many Christians actually get their theology, their God thought, from places that are not godly or people that are not godly. See, as followers of Jesus, there is only one place we go for our theology, and it is to the Word of God and to the words of Jesus. This word tells us how we can best live our life to honor and please God. So we don't take our cues from TikTok or from Taylor Swift. As followers of Jesus, we're not looking at what the world says is important. We're looking at what God says is important. And so from this theology, we actually gain a theology of generosity. What does God say we do with our life and our time and our resources and everything that we have? What are we here for?
It's so important right there.
So good. Where are you getting your theology from?
Yeah. And it's important for us to analyze that. I'm actually teaching a class right now at CFSEU.
Yeah.
And the name of the class is Lived Theology. And it's that point right there that our theology, we're not just learning this stuff for head knowledge. We're learning it because it shapes the way that we live.
Wow.
And so as we're going through the class, we might be talking about we're talking about creation this week coming up. So what we think about God's creation, the world, people in it, should shape the way that we live our lives. And so I'm excited to like bring some of those messages this week. So
let's go.
Yeah. So live theology. Our theology should influence the way that we live. But it's important. Where do we get our theology from?
Yep.
How do we learn? Because we all have different experiences. We all have things that have happened in our past, good experiences, bad experiences. And, you know, I know people that just have this mindset of like, oh, God hates me. These things have happened in my life. And so therefore, God must hate me.
Right.
And it's like, whoa. How can we start to undo that? How can we start to see what's true so that we can think about God the right way so that it can shape our lives as well?
I feel like I don't see that in any other area more clearly than in parenting sometimes. Like how my belief about God will shape even the way I parent.
Can you explain that more?
Yeah, I mean, I think even like giving grace to my kids is so much easier when I think about the grace God has given me. I think even disciplining my kids in the right tone and in the right way. Leading with more conversation. If I believe like, hey, that's how God treats me. Yeah. So that's what I want to give to other people. Yeah. But and I have gone through seasons where I kind of viewed God as like, he must just be really angry at me. He must be really disappointed in me. And when I view God as being angry and disappointed at me, unfortunately, I tend to project that on the people closest to me, where all of a sudden, like, I'm angry at you and I'm disappointed in you. So yeah, even like the A.W. Tozer quote, what we think about when we think about God is so important. And even thinking about giving, I was reading this morning, this doesn't have like a ton to do with generosity, but I do feel like it connects, in just my personal time with the Lord. When like, what do you think about when you think about God? I was reading in Psalms 91, and this is what it says. It says, because he is lovingly devoted to me being God, because he is lovingly devoted to me. I even circled lovingly this morning because I'm like, not begrudgingly, lovingly. Like I'm not here begrudgingly. I'm here lovingly. God says, I will deliver him. I will protect him because he knows my name. When he calls out to me, I will answer him. I will be with him in trouble. I will rescue him. I will give him honor, and I will satisfy him with a long life. 7 things God says he's going to do. That's a lot of action on God's part. And this morning, I wasn't even thinking about keep talking. But I just thought, if I believe that God is going to do all those things, why wouldn't I be lovingly devoted to him? Nobody else in my life can do all those things for me.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
And I did have written down, I think this highlights the importance of daily Bible reading.
Yes.
So if we're going to change the way that we think about God, we have to get in the story.
Yep.
We have to be familiar with this.
Yep.
And now you might need some help to be able to do this.
Yeah.
There's some crazy things in the Bible.
Don't start
Not everything in the Bible is prescriptive, okay? It's not saying this is good and this is what I wanted to happen. It does document a lot of craziness.
Yeah.
And so you probably want someone to help hold your hand and go through that. I hope this is a help to you as well as we talk about some of this stuff. But the importance of going back to the Word, seeing what God is like, and really always asking that question of what can I learn about God's character? Where do I see God in Scripture? What is he inviting me to as a result of this reading that I have here? And so that way, we're not just reading for information's sake. We're reading to be able to know God better. We're reading to be able to be changed by the Word and to live for him.
Yes. So, love it.
All right. Let's move on to another clip where really we're talking about what God does, or what we do, and our actions, and how our actions can have a huge impact. Check this out.
What I see in this is and you read through the book of Acts, 2 things they kept doing. They kept moving up towards God and out towards people. They moved up towards God. They were in the upper room. They didn't stay there. They moved out towards people. They moved up in prayer. You'd see them gathering in prayer, but then they would go back out and share Jesus Christ. If they had stayed where they were, they would never have gotten to where they needed to go. And I started to realize, man, the same is true for us. We can stay where we are, but we'll never go where we're supposed to go and never be who we're created to be.
I love that idea of motion, that we have to be moving.
Yeah.
We have to be doing things.
Yep.
It comes out of what God has done for us.
Yes.
Right? And this is not you should be doing this. This is because God has changed my life, because he has loved me lovingly.
Yes.
Because he's loving me, because he has saved me, because he has offered redemption for me. How can I not serve and get involved? Right?
Yes.
One book that just very radically changed the way that I think about the early church, all right, is a book called The Rise of Christianity. There's a big, long title. I wrote it down. The Rise of Christianity.
I'm writing this
down. How
the
obscure, marginal Jesus movement became the dominant religious force in the Western world in a few centuries. It was a long title, right? The Rise of Christianity, right?
Amazon.
And really what it's about is just what these early groups of Christians, what did they do? How did they live? How did they care for the people around them? And really, the movement grew because of difficult times. The movement grew because when there was a plague in the city, it was the Christians that stayed. It was the Christians that loved people. Because they had a mindset of eternity, it was like, well, I'm fine. I'm going to care in this moment. I'm going to stay. I'm going to help. There's a fire in a city. Christians are the first ones there to help. Pastor Todd mentioned a little bit on Sunday of in the Roman Empire, you didn't want a baby girl. You just threw it out. What did they do? They took them in. They cared for them. And because of that, people started to believe in this movement.
Wow.
They saw the loving action of Jesus' followers and said, wow, there's something to that.
Yeah.
When I was on my deathbed, who was there for me?
Yeah.
Or who raised me? I wasn't wanted. I was thrown out. Who raised me?
Wow.
It was this group of people that followed Jesus. And that is the thing that drove the momentum in the early church.
Wow.
So
wow. And you think about them even going in when you said there's like a plague and they would go into the city. I wonder if that's because those who had walked with Jesus or, first generation, second generation heard stories about him, he went to the lepers.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
like
what he did.
They served a Jesus who
he healed people,
touched lepers.
He got rid of all those social barriers,
right?
So,
and again, what you believe about God, kind of going back to that, shapes how you live. I believe Jesus isn't afraid of the lepers, so I wouldn't be afraid of it either.
And that's the cool thing too of just even as a church, our missions team that we have and the ways that we serve, the ways that we invest in the community are just incredible.
Yeah.
Here at our Gardens campus, you were walking around yesterday, right?
Yes.
How many boxes?
Diapers everywhere.
Just pallets of things. And it's like our church says, hey, there's a need right there.
Yep.
We're going to give, we're going to invest.
Yes.
And we send out a whole shipping container from our warehouse. We did that, but these are things that people are sending to the church. The individuals are saying, hey, ship it to the church and it'll get boxed up and it'll get sent out as well. So
it's amazing.
Yeah, I love that we put our faith into action.
Yes.
That it's not just, we come on Sunday and we have a lot of people and we sit in a room, we'll maybe sing some songs and hear a teaching, and then that's it. I did it. I'm done with church. No, church is us in action. Church is us serving the world, serving our local community and people in Haiti and Cuba and Jamaica.
Yep. I was saying in a meeting yesterday, I'm trying to decide if I'm allowed to say this out loud, but it's already coming out of my mouth. Can't pull it back in now. Yeah. I do think, and this is myself included, so this isn't me like saying this at anybody, but I think sometimes on Sundays we come to church. I sometimes come to church and I sit down and I'm just like, God, feed me. And that's right. We want you. Like, yes, this is the place to come. Yes, like, God, feed me. But it's almost a little bit of a consumer mindset of like, I'm here to get something. So I need peace. I need joy. I need all these things
Drive
to get me
through,
through the week.
do my
Give
fast food
me
church.
like the worship song and give me a word, Pastor Todd, and like let me go about my week. But I think spiritual maturity is when you can say, yes, God, feed me, but also God, use me.
Yeah.
That's a different prayer. And what would it look like if not even everybody? What if just 50% of our church showed up on Sunday and was like, God, use me?
Looking for someone to connect with.
Yeah.
Looking for ways to care for someone.
Yep.
Looking for ways to encourage someone.
Like I'm not just a consumer. I'm a contributor. I want to contribute to this house.
Which is one of our leader values. We're spiritual contributors.
Look at that.
Right? Way to work that in.
Yeah.
And I think that does highlight even the story that we showed on Sunday, right, of Marcavius and just how his life has been changed through prison ministry, but then also now how he gets to make a difference and an impact as well. That we're motivated by the things that have happened, the ways that God has loved us, changes us and helps us to be generous with our time and with our talent.
Yes.
And yes, with our finances as well, right?
Yeah,
so
all of it.
You can watch that video again. It is on our website. If you text the word impact to 441-441, you'll just a little bit down on the screen, you'll start to see some of the stories that we've shared in the recent weeks in our messages, and you can scroll through and you can find the one on Marcavius.
So
but
good.
That one was fantastic.
Ooh,
yeah,
good.
Definitely something to check
heart.
out. If you're interested in serving with prison ministry, my buddy Pastor Jake would love to talk with you.
Yes.
And reach out to me, drop that in the comments. I'll see that later.
Yes.
Email me at online@cf.church. And I love Jake Perez. He is a dear friend, and anything I can do to help support him, I'm like, let's do that. So,
and that's even like what Pastor Todd was saying Sunday was it Matthew 25 of just if you've done this for the least of these, it's like you're doing it not just for me, to me. You've done this to me. You've fed me. You've clothed me. You've served me.
I don't know if I like that passage.
That's a hard one. That's a hard one.
Write down Matthew 25. Okay. Spend some time. You can read the whole thing, but also starting in verse 31. Matthew 25:31 through the end of the chapter. This is where there's that parable of the sheep and the goats being separated, and them just going, when have I done these things? When have I served you? This doesn't make sense to me. He's like, when you clothed me, when you visited me in prison, when you served me, you did those things to me. That's what Jesus figure in this parable is saying. And so, it's a big onus on us and how we live. We have one life. How are we going to live it? How will we make a difference in this world? So it's very motivating. It's very convicting. It's not my favorite passage.
It's hard,
I believe it.
Hard.
I'm just saying.
It's hard to live.
I don't
It's
really
hard to live.
like
And
it.
even was it Proverbs? He says, whenever you're able, do good to those who need help. I mean, just that verse in and of itself. How many times are we able and we ignore?
But can we live a life marked by generosity? And why are we generous? We're generous because God has given us so much.
Yes.
God has done so much for us. And if we can wake up every day with that mindset, if you can do something in the morning to go, okay, what are 3 things that I'm thankful for?
Yes.
What are 3 things that I didn't do that other people did for me or God did for me? It can be as simple as He put breath in your lungs. You woke up this morning.
That.
How about that? Okay.
Yes.
You had no control over that. You get one more day. And so how can we live and be generous with our entire life? So
I know.
And we all have an opportunity next weekend.
Impact offering.
All right. So
special.
Impact offering. We are going for 100% church participation. All right.
Everyone's contributors.
We can all contribute something. All right. We told a story, Christ Fellowship Everywhere, 2 weeks ago about a lady that watches our services in prison, sent $10.
Let's go.
Said, this is all that I can give.
What a gift.
She's involved.
Yes, she is
contributing, right?
So proud of her.
And so we can all find something. You can ask your neighbors.
Yeah.
Hey, I want to give to this offering. I don't have anything. Could you give me $2, $5 so I could
offer to work? Don't do that. Go do it. Go do a job. Like I'm offer to mow their yard.
There it is. Okay.
My little girl's been helping with yard work. My little girl helped with yard work to get $20
and
to
so,
put in her jar.
How can we be creative so that we can participate, so we can be involved? So Impact Offering is next week. So we're going to have an opportunity to give, and that goes towards initiatives at Christ Fellowship and all of our missions for the next year. So we're going to make a huge difference in South Florida and around the world because of that. And then we also have Make a Meal at most of our campus locations.
Yep.
So when you come to a campus location, you have an opportunity to give and to serve. Yeah. And what do we talk about?
Never more like Jesus.
Never more like Jesus than when we give and we serve. We see his life marked by giving and serving others, giving his life as well.
Yes.
And so we get an opportunity next Sunday to do those two things and be like Jesus.
I think we get an opportunity to live out what Jesus said. And is it Matthew 6? I don't know Matthew 6, maybe 33, something like that. Put it in the chat if you know.
I don't know what we're talking about.
I know. I'm about to tell you. I'm getting
Sermon on the Mount.
Yeah. Where he said, seek first the kingdom of heaven and all these things will be added unto you. Is that what it is? Matthew 6:33. I think that's what I said. But that's what we get to do Sunday is just like seek first his kingdom. And I do think we live in a culture, like whatever social media you use, get on whatever it is. Yeah. And like we are obsessed with chasing all the other things, you know, and we get it out of order. And Jesus is so clear. Like if you will seek my kingdom, all the other things, they'll be added. And it doesn't mean like, you know, you're going to get a mansion or you're going to get a new car. It's not that. It's not that. But it's just, I think he's going to take care of us. Yeah. Like, he's going to provide.
There's a lot of lottery talk right now of like, well, if I win the lottery, right,
there will be signs,
money. Right? But we spend so much time thinking about that and picturing what we would do with all this. And it's like, just do this thing. Like, serve the kingdom. Be involved here. Everything else will work out.
I know. And invest in it. We're going to be there a lot longer than we are here. So we should invest.
Yeah.
Invest there.
That's awesome. All right. Well, I hope this conversation has been helpful for you and a good starting point for you to work this out and start to apply generosity in your life. So thanks for being a part of Keep Talking Live today. Ashley, thank you for being here as well. Fun. Jared, Nathan, thank you for your work in the booth and making all the technical things happen. And we'll see you this Sunday for Impact Offering, maybe for Make a Meal if you're at a campus location. I'll see you Christ Fellowship everywhere. And then we'll see you back here next Tuesday at noon as well for Keep Talking Live. See y'all.